Swiftly spread through the 8-year-old Sainsbury superstore. Hundreds of Christmas shoppers fled after the fire started in a warehouse at the back of the store. Massive columns of black smoke darkened the sky above West Sussex as the multi-million-pound superstore was consumed. Nearly 200 firefighters from West Sussex and Hampshire poured thousands of gallons of water into the blazing building. They did prevent the fire spreading to a nearby petrol station, but they weren't able to save the store.
Well, it's a total loss inside. 100% has been involved in fire. 100% of the roof has now collapsed, and it's a virtual total loss.
Fire crews will stay at the scene until tomorrow, but tonight the modern supermarket has been reduced to a charred and twisted pile of bent metal and melted plastic. Fire chiefs confirmed that though the supermarket had been built on a former tip, there was no reason to believe that methane gas had caused the fire. There were no reports of any injuries, and fire chiefs paid tribute to the way staff had evacuated their customers and averted what could have been a major tragedy.
500 people escape with their lives as a supermarket burns to the ground. The IRA plant more bombs on the South's rail links, and a man is charged with murder after a couple are found dead. Good evening. Nearly 150 firemen from 3 counties are tonight still at the scene of a blaze which has completely destroyed a Sainsbury's supermarket. 500 staff and customers at the superstore in Chichester had a miraculous escape when it burned to the ground. The blaze is now said to be under control. This report from Max Pragnell.
The store was packed with about 300 Christmas shoppers when a smoke alarm went off in a bulk storage room at the rear of the building. Sainsbury staff went to investigate, and it's understood they found smoke billowing through a ceiling cavity. The store was emptied within 3 minutes. Then, as the last of the customers and staff assembled in the car park, a huge fireball ripped through the main building. Fire officers at the scene were prevented from entering the building because of the high toxicity of the fumes from the food packaging and the building itself.
The big difficulty was the way that the fire in the first instance kept flashing inside the building. The amount of plastics in the smoke was meaning that it was partly consumed by fire. It got in the air. Our crews were in there knocking the jets in, bringing oxygen in with their jets and themselves. The thing was flashing over, and we had a real problem on 4 occasions where we had to withdraw crews because of that exposure hazard.
Adjacent stores were also evacuated, and for a time it was thought householders nearby would need to be moved out.
Well, it just exploded, just went bang. And then we heard all the ambulance and the police and fire engines.
It started at the back, and worked its way around the front. And somebody else said they'd heard windows blowing out. That was what a lot of explosions were.
It soon became clear that the building, which is constructed from plastic cladding on a metal frame, had literally melted away. Firemen could do little other than watch as hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of goods went up in smoke. Firemen will be working throughout the night to ensure the flames are kept under control. They have nothing but praise for the way the emergency was handled.
The management of this store really need a pat on the back in the way they cleared the store, undertook a roll call of their own staff, and was able to confirm with us very early on in the incident that there was nobody trapped in the building.
The job of establishing what caused what could so easily have been a human tragedy will begin at first light. Max Pragnell in Chichester for Meridian News.
It's been